me the grass is much greener.
I still need to watch all of this show in order.
There is a mixture of sadness, but at the same time there's a mixture of a little bit of humor, which you can definitely expect in this series.
Every character has multiple dimensions, really.
Obviously it's a scripted show, but they don't feel scripted. They feel real. They feel genuine.
If kids find value in things, I think there is value in them. Because it is art in its own way, and it is very important.
Whatever it is, just own it. Love what you do and do what you love.
If it's cool to you, then, who cares about what the others say?
Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of We're in Between, the podcast that discusses about every single episode of As Told by Ginger once a week. I am Patricia.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Ashli.
And we have another bonus podcast for you guys this month. And last time we interviewed Aspen Vincent, the voice of Dodie. So now we have her second friend. We have the voice of Macie. So we have special guest Jackie Harris Greenberg. So Jackie, welcome to We're in Between.
Hi, thanks.
You're very welcome.
I almost had Liz do it with us too. Liz George.
Oh my gosh.
Join me.
Oh, that would have been so amazing.
I know. I was gonna say, come over and we'll do it. So that's the next one.
Oh, it would be amazing if we can have Liz as a guest. Absolutely, because, there are a lot of people who would love to know more about Courtney.
Yeah. Courtney's very popular.
All right, so I'll start things off with, your stereotypical stock question. So where did you get your influences for acting?
Well, the funny thing is, the shows when I was a kid that were amazing were the Carol Burnett show, and also Saturday Night Live, and the original cast. I watched the show when it started. That's how I'm dating myself. But so when Lorraine Newman, she's on the show too on Ginger. So when she started for the first 3 weeks, I didn't say anything about that. I was super cool. And then one day I just totally fangirled on her. Told her the truth. We love you. So yeah. That's always been the sort of early on, hats and glasses, wigs, broad. I love that stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Casey, you have any questions?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to have you on the show.
Thank you.
My first question, I guess, is how did you go about developing that iconic nasally tone quality for Macie? Because it has so much staying power and it's such a memorable aspect of the show.
Well, when I went in to read for the part originally, I did various voices, different sort of takes on it, and I knew everybody involved in the show, the producers and writers and stuff, and and we really wanted me to hit it, and I kept doing different things, and then finally I was like, let's look at the art again, and because they had the art, and I looked at her, and she was my childhood best friend. She was my childhood best friend from Canada when I grew up. My friend Stephanie had the most phenomenal, this adenoidal situation. She couldn't breathe, basically. She snored and she couldn't breathe. So I just flipped into Stephanie mode, and it was organic, and that's it. Never went away. We aged her up slightly as the show, because the show was one of those amazing shows that actually we grew with them. The girls grew up on the show. From little to middle schoolers and all of that. So she'd slightly get a little less little girly when she started out.
Interesting. Thank you.
Ashli, why don't you go with the next question?
We all love Macie dearly. I guess this might have spoilers in it. What was your favorite Macie moment, either for your voice acting specifically, or just your favorite moment that you felt like encapsulated her best?
I always loved it when Macie interacted with her parents. That was just phenomenal to me, the relationship of these parents. So my favorite was when they gave her the child's birthday party. And that was, a 4-year-old's birthday party. That was my favorite thing in the world, because I just, the way she just loved it, went for it, and wasn't ashamed and wasn't embarrassed, had that great park party. And Little Sail Girl, of course, love that. There's a lot to love about that show.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's a lot of, because when we recorded, we had, it was a way to do it, because we would record and then draw. So it was very loose. We were always aware of trying not to overlap on each other, but we would really get in, and they would keep the mics going. We'd really get into little side things. And with Macie, of course, there was always the line would end, and then she'd always have a laugh or a giggle or a reaction or a snort, or, you know, it would keep going. And that was always the great thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It was, you know, you did a lot, you know, after the fact. So it was just great, the whole thing.
Yeah. I have two questions. Were you only auditioning for Macie, or did you audition for other characters as well, like for Ginger or for Dodie or for Lois?
I might have done a pass. I think I came in, they brought, because I was from Second City, so in Canada, and I had worked with the producer. When I came in, because of being a character actress and with a sketch background, I sort of did passes at most of the characters, but Macie was one that they to do. So I can't really remember, but I definitely would have read for Courtney. I don't know if I read for the others, but the main emphasis was definitely on Macie.
Awesome. And here's another, this is one that Aspen actually brought up, this interesting fact that we actually had no idea about. So Aspen was telling us the story about how, you know, how in the show, you know, before Macie Gray was like the official person who sang the theme song, and we had people like Melissa Disney sang for the theme song, and Cree Summer sang for the theme song, but apparently Aspen said that all the other characters sang for the theme song as well, and she actually sang the theme song in her Dodie voice, so we would love it if you would sing the theme song in your Macie voice.
Did all do that. Well, you know, that Melissa and Cree are all like phenomenal professional singers, and then of course I am not. But yet that was the thing to do, and I have to remember. I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember the theme song.
That's
right
okay.
now.
Aspen didn't remember it either.
I can hear it.
Yeah, it's basically
do it.
Yeah, it's someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side.
What's greener on the other side? Yeah. Oh yeah. But I do slow enough. Someone once told me the grass was much greener on the other side.
That is amazing.
Side. Yeah, I really, in Little Seal Girl I sang. I sounded really good on that.
Oh, that was yes, absolutely.
That was something awesome. We always wanted to sing. We loved singing. It was just the best. Everybody loved doing that. And, you know, and singing in your character is the best. Because, you know, they try really hard. Macie always tried really hard.
Yeah.
You know, to be really good at it, at all the singing. So that's my favorite. And she had the ego was amazing, the lack of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She's so pure.
Yes, she is. Casey, you're next. You're next with the question.
Okay. So Aspen told us a little bit about what the recording process was like for the show, and I'm interested in hearing that from your perspective in terms of, like she said, you guys filmed in groups sometimes you all filmed in together. What was your experience like recording the audio for the show?
Yeah, mostly the format, which was great, was we'd come in, because it was pretty, we were always, you know, the show was written very much as an ensemble piece, and then there'd be some sidebar stuff. But for the most part, we'd all be in the room together, and they love it that way. We try to work it that way. So we come in, and the schedule was fantastic, because it was generally like we'd get there in the morning, and we'd do some recording, and then they'd bring in lunch, and we'd gossip and laugh, and if it was a birthday, we'd have cake, and then we'd go back and continue. And at the beginning, they would scene between, you know, Lois and Ginger, then that would be on its own. But we would be in together, so we would laugh and tell stories, and, you know, and back and forth. And in the booth, you know, they see us, we see them. There would be a whole thing. It took a long time sometimes, because we'd really get into it and laugh. And the script was always very loose, but there'd always be slight, you know, like Macieisms would, by the end, of course, they would write in Macie's voice, but that changed as it went on, where words would be different and that, and they were very open to that. But Aspen made a quilt for my baby. I mean, we were so close. And it was pre, you know, social media, so there was no, like, we wouldn't take photos and selfies and post and tweet, and it was just, this little closed world. And then when guests would come in, it was really great fun, and, it was great. Had a good time.
Yeah, Aspen told us some funny stories about how when you would do your lines as Macie, everybody would be cracking up.
Yeah. She was so, Dodie was just, because it was just the relationships on the show changed because of our relationships. Like, we would have little, like, if she'd have a line, and I'd go, "Oh, Dodie," at the end, like if she said something as in her character that my character would have reacted to, I'd improvise that. It would be, "Dodie, why, Dodie?" And I'd add something, and so then they'd make it like Macie's judging Dodie. So then that would be a new dynamic, and we would howl. It was like we really did become our characters, because Ginger or Melissa would be this one who would be more like leader of the girls, and now we have a plan, we're going to do it, and she'd be very like this, and we'd all just pick on her and laugh about it, and that was kind of echoing in the room. And then, of course, the funniest person in the world is Lorraine Newman, so she would just go off on these tirades as Lois. That it was great.
That's awesome.
Some good times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you were talking about how, one of your favorite episodes involving with Macie was Family Therapy, which is about when Macie had the birthday party. Mm-hmm. I was looking through the credits, and I realized that it was teleplayed by your husband, Paul.
Did he write that one? He did write a couple.
Yes, he actually did write that episode.
Did he write that one?
Yes, he did.
Oh, my God. My God. Yes, see, he's a genius.
So,
he's an Emmy winner, so there you go.
So, yeah, do you actually, I don't know if maybe you and Paul came up with the story, maybe he came up with the story, but yeah, what's
No.
No?
No, I wouldn't even see it till I was in the room. We also used to get the scripts, this is the old days, where they'd courier them to your house, mm-hmm. and you'd read it over, but it was always more like tongue-tie words. It was like you would just read it over so that have a sense of what's coming, but you wouldn't really take it in until you were in the room, so it would be fresher. That's sort of how I approached it.
Oh, okay.
So you do a quick pass, and then it would be organic. I'm sure everyone approached it differently, but it's your reading, so you want it to be fresh, like you're saying it for the first time. So the you wouldn't want to be too overly familiar with it. Yeah, Paul was also the mole. Was he?
Yes, he was the mole guy.
Yeah,
he was the mole guy.
Right. Right. There were some great guy parts. And Neil did it too, didn't he? Neil Patrick Harris, didn't he do it too? He did an episode?
I don't remember. I'll have to definitely look that up, but maybe.
Yeah, he did. He did, because he's our friend, and I remember the one he said for sure. I think it was something, I can't remember what he did, but he definitely did one.
Interesting.
And, and then, a lot of people did them.
Cool.
It was, See, I haven't seen it in so long. Is it on it's not even on anywhere, I think.
Well, it still airs it airs sometimes on The Splat, which is Nickelodeon's midnight, it airs on 10 p.m., it airs from 10 p.m. all the way to 2 a.m., and occasionally, as told by Ginger, airs on TV. It did air a lot more a few years ago when it was celebrating its 15th anniversary.
Right, and we all had a little online reunion when there was a rumor that it was going to be done again.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it started or what it was, but all I know is I was getting phone calls and messages, and then we all were sending messages to each other going, is this real? And, Melissa and Lorraine and, all of us. But that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be.
That would have been awesome. Like a Christmas special.
Christmas special, yeah.
If you have any specifically funny stories that you want to share, what your favorite specific story was, other than things you've already said before.
There were so many constant things going on that were happening. In the room, out of the room, different directors. What was that? There was one director that was hilarious, because the shows would change according to who would direct them. Like when they were directed by by Eric Casimiro, they'd be very organic, calm, and deep and slow and all that. And then when we get what's his face coming in, God, what's his name? Charlie really... You guys would know more because he directed a ton of Nickelodeon stuff. But he was frantic, and he'd be like, all right, Macie's coming in the room, and she's crying, and just, oh my God, she's going to be attacked, go. You'd be like, what? Oh, okay, you'd be doing your character like that, because, you know what I mean? So we would always be like, who's coming in this week, or who's directing, because that's how we know how fast our day was going to go, and what the pace was. And Anne Frank in the Attic, go, was my favorite. That was like, your Anne Frank in the Attic, go. What? Oh, God. Oh, okay. But we had, we always had our birthday parties and pregnancies. It was crazy. We just had some weddings and divorces and adoptions, and, it was like, I think it was 7 years maybe? I don't even know. But it was like we came, and then we took like a year off at one point, and then came back and changed locations. We all changed so much, we were all pretty young. And then, family stuff, all kinds of stuff was happening over time. The party was really fun when we launched. That was a good time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That was on the, Klasky Chupo just built a really fancy building, and we had a big event. It's so bizarre how different it would be now with social media, It's just the way... I don't know, I think it was almost better. We would do the odd thing, like with, Japan Television would come in and do interviews where we'd sit one at a time at a table, and, but now it'd be a very different vibe.
Yeah, definitely really different. All right, do any of you guys have any other questions?
That's about all I got if we want to pick one or two from the forums.
Absolutely. So let me pick out one or two questions from the forums, which is we'reinbetween.freeforums.net. We're going to... okay, so here's our first question from Hoodsy Bishop fan, and this person said...
Great name.
Yeah, excellent name. Okay, this person says, Jackie...
That's a great...
Absolutely. Okay, this person says, Jackie, one of the most noticeable things about Macie's character was that she was very non-confrontational. Whenever Ginger and Dodie got into many fights, Macie would try to sit out of it and timidly sit on the sidelines. Are you like that in real life?
No. I don't think she... the thing was she was like Yoda. She would sit, but she wasn't removed. She would sit, and she would be like, she would feel everything, and she would be affected by everyone. And then she would always be the one at the end that was the strength and the voice of reason. I think the sideline thing was more like, this is silly, what you guys are doing. So I'm not going to humor you with my presence in something so silly. I'm going to step back, and then I'll be wise and be the calm voice of reason. And I'm not a calm voice of reason in real life. I'd be the one to go, what? No, stop. So no, she's the better part of me. She's the wiser, better, kinder, deeper part of me.
Okay.
She's Stephanie, my childhood friend, who's a better person, whose father was a priest.
Oh, wow.
So, a minister, high Anglican, Dutch. So she organically was a better person, I think.
Okay.
Because of her dad. He was a good guy.
Okay, so continue on with the question. Macie had a lot of great one-liners in the series. What was your favorite and recited in Macie's voice?
God, I'm trying to think. There was something she'd always say. It would start with a laugh. It would be like, for the love of peace.
Love
Heavens
it.
above. It was always very old school. Why? No. Things like that.
Yeah.
But why?
My favorite Macie line is in the episode Come Back Little Seal Girl, in which when Dodie and Ginger are trying to convince her to not do the Little Seal Girl skit, and then they said, please, Macie, it would be really cool, and then she says, cool, do I look like the girl who's concerned with what's cool? That's my favorite line.
Cool. Do I look like the girl that would be concerned with me? Cool.
I love you. Thank you.
Seal Girl was amazing.
Absolutely.
I'm a little seal girl living in a real world.
And
Sometimes I tried to get by.
'Cause seals can't even cry.
Seals can't even cry. Oh,
Thank you. All right.
sweet.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Awesome. All right. Okay, we have another question from HeartLover1717, and she says, "Yay! It's the little seal girl. What kind of preparation and pacing, stamina-wise, that you need to use for doing the phlegmy voice for the character?"
You know, it really did mess me up. A lot of water. Like a lot.
Drink a lot of water. And then she'd always have the... And sometimes they would do tracks of just the breathing. And I think there was one episode where she, it goes like that. Oh, why? I don't even know. Ginger, who'll be like, hey, you guys.
It was very,
And then when she got older, it was a little more like that. Well, I'm a little seal girl living in a real world. And the
flippers are a very big part of my life. That always pops up in all my characters.
Wow.
All my characters have something to do with flippers. It's very strange. I did a cult movie where I have a line where I say, at least there's no flipper babies. So flippers are, I don't know, big part.
Awesome.
Right?
That's amazing. Okay, okay, we have a question from Norbert, and he says...
Norbert?
Yes, his name is Norbert.
That's the best name. I love that name.
Norbert, if you're listening to this, then Jackie really likes your name.
More than a Hoodsie fan?
Norbert.
Okay,
Hoodsie! Oh my god, Hoodsie. I love Hoodsie.
Okay, so Norbert's question is, from the looks of it, you do a lot of live action roles. Was As Told by Ginger your only animated role? If not, what other animated stuff have you done? And would you want to do more animation stuff?
No, I've done other animated stuff, but the reason why this felt, and we used to say it at the time, it felt like it could have been filmed because it was recorded in a very, it wasn't like a lot of cartoons when you do them, you sort of just kind of go in and do your line. It's like, okay, you're by yourself even though you're interacting with other people. You go into a room and it's just you and you're doing your thing. If you're very visually, when you act, you're using all your, senses, and you're very, you're showing your arms and your eyes, and you have to relay if you're giving somebody a weird look, you have to relay that through your voice. You have to be like, instead of just looking at somebody and doing a little you have to be like, huh? Like you have to see the look through the voice. So I found it fit my wankage type of performance, which was big and loud and broad, and but yeah, I like doing voice work. It's fun. I prefer using everything.
Okay, awesome. Let me see. He has another question. Have you ever been recognized for being the voice of Macie on the street, like if you're walking around or something?
No. Never in the history of ever.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And one final question from Norbert is, do you exhibit any traits of Macie? Do you think you're like her in any way?
Yes. We have bangs, dark hair and bangs. And, the thing that was about her not wanting to rock the boat, the other aspect of that is she's insecure in the sense of she doesn't want anybody to be hurt, and she's afraid of offending people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of a little like I was like that, not as much now, but she's aware of people's feelings. She's the better part of me in that sense. She's very sensitive. She's a sensitive Yoda. She really is, and they talk the same kind of a little bit.
Yes. All right. Awesome. And this is actually a bit of a spoiler question, so I'm actually going to mute off Casey and Ashli just for the moment because they haven't seen the series as a whole. Okay, so this question is actually about the series finale, The Wedding Frame, in which they want to know about, there's a scene in which, we see Macie, what she looks like all grown up, and, they're actually questioning about, did she and Hoodsie get married?
Wow, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, because there was an episode.
Wow.
Yeah, there was an episode previously in which Hoodsie and Macie went to the dance together, and Hoodsie disguised himself as calling him like the mystery man. And so a lot of people were questioning on, are Hoodsie and Macie going to get together? So yeah, they're probably thinking about maybe because they see Hoodsie wearing a wedding ring and Macie's not, so they're thinking about like, are they married? So what do you think?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. I always kind of thought that our wee Macie would be a nice little powerful lesbian. That's
wow.
That's how I kind of felt.
That is amazing.
Yeah. I think she would have totally gone that way.
With who?
Maybe with Courtney.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing.
Courtney.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
Now I wish Liz was on here with us.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see that more. I could see her being very strong and being a writer and being a support system to Dodie and,
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I could see that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Maybe Darren.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, I mean, Darren was with Ginger at the end of the episode, so maybe not. But I can see, if it's possible,
She
Courtney...
would totally move. By the way, Macie would totally move to France.
Yeah, because she loves
Totally.
because she wants to know more about their cheeses. Absolutely.
Yes. She loves cheese.
Yes. Even though she's
She does
lactose
love
intolerant, she loves cheese.
She's fully lactose intolerant and yet has cheese.
Yes, that is awesome.
And doesn't even take a lactate.
Nope, not. She's hardcore like that. All right, well, that's.
Yeah.
I think that should be
just a little cream cheese. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna taste a little Roquefort. That even if I bloat a little,
No
I mean,
blue. She wouldn't go near blue cheese.
okay.
A little chèvre.
Ooh,
A
chèvre.
petit peu de chèvre.
Oh, chèvre's delicious. That would be awesome. All right. I think that should. Okay, so
Yeah.
I think this is not much of a spoiler question. So I'm gonna bring Casey and Ashli back.
Mm-hmm.
We have one last question, and this is from Pink Dolphin 92. And you can actually bring this up for Casey and Ashli, or if you have a different answer. What do you think Macie will be doing now?
She would be living in Montreal, and she'd be a lyricist, and she would, she would definitely be in the arts, and she'd fluctuate between Paris and Montreal and New York City. She wouldn't really speak French, but she'd try very hard, and she'd be living her own.
Awesome.
With her stuff we'd already talked. With her flings.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
she'd be very cool.
I don't
Yeah.
think we can give that much
And
of
and she would have a shitload of money.
Yes.
Shitload of money.
I don't
She'd
think we
be
can give
very
this up as a spoiler because it has nothing to do with the show. But we were just talking that she thinks that Macie and Courtney would have a wonderful relationship together.
Wow! Of all the OTPs and the fan pairings and all that, that's one I wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, no, Macie's definitely gay, definitely, and
I kind
Courtney,
of put that on every show I watch. I just assume they all are.
like Macie's a little bit like. Do you ever watch Glee?
Yeah, I've seen an episode or two of Glee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Courtney is like. There's this cheerleader girl who is a great dancer. I forget her name, but she's that girl who I think is, she's always wanting attention and all that. And I think it's really she just needs some love, and I think some nice pure love from Macie would help that.
I think that would work because Macie's in band. Courtney can be the cheerleader. So hey, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fascinating pairing.
That would be really interesting.
I know.
All right.
It would be.
Okay, so for everybody, thank you so much for your questions. If we didn't get to yours, then don't worry. There's always other guests in the future that we may or may not have. So let's start off with our final one. So when looking back on As Told by Ginger, what do you think of it as a whole, looking back on it almost like, over 15 years later?
Well, the first thing is it really stands up. Like, it really touched on subject matters in a way that really meant something. The way they, with divorce, remarriage, with relationships. It was never anything taken too lightly. It was very real. So that's the main thing, is I think it really holds up. And that's why I wish it was more around for kids now. I think it would be still very important. That's the main thing, is how much it holds up, you know, and the relationships that came out of it. I mean, we all really cared about each other, and we're all still in contact, you know?
That's great.
That's
That's
awesome.
a nice thing to have. Yeah, it's really nice.
That's amazing.
It's really nice, you know. Courtney was at my son's bar mitzvah. Our kids are Instagram friends. You know, it's really sweet. And Lorraine and I, you know, we're always texting, and you know, we're planning a get together actually very soon with Melissa. And where's Aspen? She's in New York still, right?
Yeah, she's still in New York.
Aspen's a doll.
She was awesome yesterday. We spoke to her, and she told us so many funny stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great to have both of you guys in the same weekend and hear two sides of that similar experience.
Her brain is much better. Her young brain.
She
was such a child. She was like 18 or something crazy.
Yeah, she was like in
Right.
her. Yeah, she was like
She
in
did
her.
the show.
Yeah, well, she was like in her early 20s, I think. You know, she said she was like 19.
No, when she started, she was younger than.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
her
like, she was.
mother used to come.
Oh wow.
Melissa and asked for this children's theater thing in Orange County when they were young, a couple years apart.
Oh wow.
And Melissa, I see all the time. We're neighbors,
Wow.
so I see her. Yeah, I see her all the time
That's amazing.
at our Mexican food place.
It would be awesome if we
Yeah,
could get Melissa
yeah.
as a
So
guest. Now we can have the whole trio together.
I know, it'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cree, I haven't seen Cree in a long time. And Eric Casimiro, the producer, I'm still in contact with. And then I had some exchanges with, what's her face? Oh, God, my brain. The creator.
Emily Kapnick?
Yeah. Emily, yeah. We were all joking around, her, Lorraine, and I, when the rumors were happening about the reunion. We were all like, I don't know. We said that would be great. You know, but no, I haven't heard anything. There was a lot of that. So it was a really good thing altogether. It was very nice. Very proud of it.
Well, that's amazing. And Jackie, thank you so much for coming into the podcast. We really do appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
thank you.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, do you have anything to plug or self-promote? Do you have any upcoming projects that you'd like to share?
Well, my husband and I we're on Chelsea Handler's show now.
Oh, wow.
We're her life coaches. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun doing that. And, you know, that's it right now.
Okay.
Doing that show.
And
Yeah.
do you have like a Facebook? Do you have a Twitter?
I do have a Twitter, yes. I think it's Jackie Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah, Jackie Montreal. That's right.
Okay, awesome.
I have to forget.
Yeah, I
the other stuff's more private.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, yeah,
Right.
that's that should be it. So again, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on by.
Well, thanks for having me. I love that you guys are keeping this show around. I mean, it's just it's such a fun show. So I'm glad.
That's the goal.
I'm glad that some pretty heavy episodes. So
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yes, absolutely. So let us know in the comments below about your favorite episodes involving with Macie, if you've seen any of other of Jackie's projects. And so thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you around soon, and thank you for listening.